You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This Friday, Boy Kills World. The must-see action movie event of the year hits theaters.
Yeah! The Vanderkoys killed my family. Now, I'm gonna kill them one by one.
Critics are calling it Looney Tunes on acid.
You know how hard it is to get a serial company to sponsor mass murder?
Weapons, danger, let's do this.
Bill Skarsgård in Boy Kills World. In theaters Friday. Rated R.
On with the one and only, the legend himself, the highlight, Justin Gaethje. Justin, bro, first off, I told you before we were recording, you're a dog, you're a warrior. You went out there and fought Max in one of the best fights that we've seen, and I don't even know how long, fight of the year in my opinion. How do you feel off of that 300, the totality of it, right? The lead up, the camp, the walkout, the fight, the knockout. Can you put into perspective for us?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it all goes by so fast, man. I mean, you start training camp 12 weeks out, you know, you work your ass off, you know, two or three times a day, 2 or 3 workouts, you know, everything's kind of super regimented. So, you know, you really just show up and, you know, follow instructions. You know, I'm super coachable. So everything went by really fast. And then, you know, once fight week comes, that Tuesday starts, it really flies by. And then you got the press conference. Then you move on to the weigh-ins, you know, all the interviews. I did probably, you know, 80 interviews. So all that shit just, you know, just the busier you are, you know, the faster time goes, as you guys know. And so before you know it, you know, the fight's there. And then, you know, flies by again, and then the fight's over. And then it's just crazy how, you know, it's really hard to take in everything, you know, in the moment, you know, because everything's just flying by. You're kind of on autopilot during all the media events. You know, you're on autopilot during the weight cut because you don't want to think about that because that shit hurts.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you move on to the fight and just try to be perfect for, you know, for a very, very small period of time, you know, in the grand scheme of things. And, you know, competition is crazy. I'm super competitive. You know, I don't have. There was never a second in there I wasn't, you know, excited to be in there. And it's a momentum thing. You know, I caught that kick at the end of the first round, you know, broke my nose. And, you know, momentum's a hell of a thing to try to get back, you know, once you lose it. And, you know, I think Max did such a good job at, you know, gaining that momentum and then keeping that, you know, through the fight. Again, it's such a short period in time, you know, and 25 minutes, and I just couldn't get it back, you know, and he was really good. He surprised me in a couple areas, you know, how patient he was. I thought I was going to be able to pull him into more of a fight, and his patience really threw things off for me, and, you know, all credit to him for executing like that.
It was incredible to see, man, because obviously moving up a division, you were talking with Kamaru, obviously a great friend of yours, training partner, on his pod with Triple C, that you were like, I hope that he's a little bit slower, right? The move up, maybe he's a little bit slower. Did you see him a little bit slower? Did you feel like you could have attacked things in a certain way that he just maybe cut off a little bit quicker?
I mean, yeah, his movement was very, very good, man, and something I wasn't expecting. I think, you know, he was definitely not slow. He was really fast. And yeah, I mean, again, it was just, you know, me expecting something and getting something completely different was, you know, such a testament to his, you know, his game plan. You know, it was awesome. And, yeah, you know, I waiting outside and, you know, trying to catch him coming in was kind of, you know, what I thought was going to be going on more in my mind. And he really sat back and, you know, didn't get pulled into anything. You know, he was really fast on his exits, and he was very fast when he closed the distance to those strikes.
And you were chopping that leg too, dude. Like he said it. He said he's going to be like a couple of weeks before I can even walk normally. You were chopping that front leg to try and get him to switch stances, right?
Switch stances, change tactics. I think in the fourth round, you know, after the third round, my coach, you know, we all have different styles of fighting that we fight. You know, in training, we train different styles. You know, there's a patient side for me, and then there's a spot where I move forward and I really try to step on their feet and cause exchanges. And I think once we switched to that, I've started, finding more success. Just, it was just, again, a testament to his game plan, because something that none of us were ready for. And it was good. Damn good.
Yeah. When you replay that first round, have you seen the fight in its totality?
No,
yet?
I haven't watched it, no.
Okay. I was going to say, can you run us through at least what you remember from that first round? Because I feel like things changed after that kick, right? The kick to the nose at the end of the first round.
Even before that, he landed a good uppercut, and, gave me a little buzz. And, just how fast he closed the distance from A to B was very impressive. So I was like, oh, shit. It's something I got to watch out for, something I got to be ready for.
When he landed that kick, it was like, did you sit in the corner and be like, that was clean as hell?
I mean, we're talking about 60 seconds in time. I mean, he kicked me. I walked there. I noticed that I'm bleeding like profusely. Coach walks up. The crazy thing was the last 1 second, neither one of my coaches that were coming into the cage saw it happen.
Oh, my God.
Because they were working their way into the cage. They got to get their shit together, get their bucket together, get the ice together. And so they didn't see it happen. Coach, I sat down, and Coach was like, what the hell happened? You broke your nose.
You're like, what?
Yeah, and I was feeling my nose. I was trying to see how crooked it was, and that's the first time I ever broke my nose in a fight. So, yeah, it was, again, 60 seconds in time. There wasn't a lot of processing information. It was just like, oh, shit, that hurt. And, yeah, it is what it is. And then it goes out of your mind, and you just have to go back to the task at hand, which is, fighting the dude in front of you, trying to win.
Did you feel like that changed your cardio at all, not being able to breathe in the way that you normally breathe, or no?
I don't think it did. I mean, I felt really good in there. I felt amazing in there. We worked so hard, through this whole camp to be ready for a cardiovascular like war. And us both fighting. He was much more patient than I thought he was going to be. That allowed me to, not get as exhausted early on. Into the fifth round. I remember being like, wow, I'm in really good shape. And, every fight is so different. And, yeah, this one was, very different than something, again, I expected and something I've ever experienced. So it's crazy, It was it's a crazy game that we play.
And look, like I said, you've taken shots from the best fighters on the planet. And Kamaru mentioned, hey, if he doesn't get poked in the eyes, maybe we have something different. Do you feel like there's some credibility to that? Or is that just like, we're playing Monday morning quarterback? Yeah, I got poked in the eyes, but I'm a fighter. Like, let's keep moving.
Yeah. I don't like to, I think it'd be an excuse if I was to just try to justify that.
Right.
You really don't know. Again, it's 25 minutes in time. I mean, it's been hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of minutes since that day, and it seems like it was just yesterday. So it's just crazy. You get in there, you gotta, it's a little bit of rolling the dice, a lot of preparation, and then you just kind of gotta be perfect and, not get caught up in the moment, not be too relaxed. I mean, it's such a crazy game, and the things that your body does when you're in those situations. I mean, to release adrenaline into your body, you gotta obviously perceive a dangerous situation. Mm-hmm. And, that it was that. And then your body goes to these special places. I've done it so many times. I think if I made a mistake, I think the biggest mistake was not realizing or understanding through the camp how much danger I was in. I don't know why. Obviously I know why now. I know that was a mistake now, but, I think it was more difficult for my body to go to like a primal state because of my lack of awareness of the danger that my body was in. That's not that I didn't give Max respect. I think it was more, if I had to put a finger on it, I think it was more the fact that I never in my life saw Max as an opponent that I would potentially fight.
Right.
He was always in a different weight class. I never was like, this is the guy I want to fight. There's never been another fight in my career where I've been like, I didn't expect to fight this guy, or I have too much respect for this guy, or it's not that I didn't want to hurt him. I was willing to hurt him, but the lead up was very different because it wasn't a guy that, even Donald Cerrone was my friend back in the day, but he knocked me down, knocked me out in a practice in like 2010. So I was like, I want to get that back. The competitor in me wants to get that back. There was nothing, that fire wasn't there. And I think that was probably the biggest mistake that I made, going into this fight. And it's something that I'm going to learn from. But again, all credit to Max for the way that he fought. I think he fought so perfect.
I think when you have two BMFs in one ring, I think that's what makes the BMF special, right? Obviously, you fought in the fight twice. Obviously, the first one with Dustin and this one now. And it's like, it's such a cool thing to see because when everybody said, oh, it's a gimmick, oh, it's this and that, it's like, guys, this is fighting. These are two of the biggest dogs on the planet going at it from each fight down, right? Like George and Nate, you and Dustin, you and Max, like this is just dogs only. So it's like, it's such a cool thing to see. Were you surprised when at the end of the fight, when Max was like, all right, come on, let's go middle of the octagon, me and you right now, last 10 seconds. How surprised were you? Do you think like, oh, wait a second, what is he doing? Do I have a shot here?
No, I mean, when that happens, in my mind, just first thing that goes off is, of course, and I ran, I did, tried the little flip kick and then, he points, I jogged to that center. That luckily, we said it many times before, this was going to be the people's main event. I said it was going to be the best live show on earth. And it was just that because it's two guys that, are just absolute competitors. I'm a competitor, he's a competitor, and we've been doing this for so long. And, I just think there's no other option. I mean, if someone points to the ground like that, there's no way that I'm not going to accept that challenge.
Absolutely. And it could have easily been him. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
If you land something clean, he's out. The entire fight is different. The entire night is different. Everything is different about that.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't. I mean, I felt like I was losing, but you just never know. I think obviously I won. I think I won the fourth round, and I think the second round was close. I landed some very, very heavy leg kicks. So you never know. I think he was probably up 3-1 on the judges' scorecards. It could have been 2-2, on a conservative judge's scorecard. And so we were both kind of fighting for everything. I don't think, in that moment you never think what the scorecards are. You know, especially when he points to the ground like that. It's okay. That's the only way either one of us want to win. We want to figure this out. You don't want to let it go to the judges, just in case. We've seen some crazy things. Whether I was winning, losing, had no chance. It was 2-2 with that round being a deciding factor. You don't know. You don't take the time to think about that because that shit does not matter. Until that fight is over, and then it's like, okay, let's hope that this is correct. But we both want to finish the same way, and that's by making a statement and leaving it completely out of anybody's hands but our own.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the BMF is about. Who's the baddest motherfucker? We're gonna figure out the last 10 seconds who the baddest motherfuckers. We're gonna point to the middle of the ring and we're gonna throw haymakers and cinder blocks until somebody goes down. So it was
we both told you guys what you were gonna get. I think it was the best fight of the night, obviously, and it's bound to happen when you put two guys like that in the cage.
How do you protect your mental health when it comes to something like that, where obviously you haven't seen the fight, but I'm sure social is just absolutely crazy. Are you in a space mentally where you look at that and be like, like that shit, I have to turn it off for a little bit? Or are you one of those guys that can kind of look at everything and be like, hey, it is what it is. That's part of the sport. Shit happens. Like, let's keep it moving. Yeah.
I mean, I've said it to, my family thought my family was terrified. All the girls were crying, I was at the hospital, getting checked out, and I was good, again, being a competitor that I am, I'm not excited and I'm not happy that I lost, but, I have to be content with what happened because I'm not going to let it eat me up. I'm not going to let me be negative to people around me, and because what we did was, awesome.
Legendary.
Yeah, legendary. And I think, again, I'm here to create a legacy. I think that, even though I lost, I think that does good for my legacy and for the future of my legacy. But I've also am able to put it into perspective that I've, TKO'd or KO'd 19 people. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, this is the territory that I live in. I wish that I wouldn't have eaten that shot, but I do think that me going to sleep like that with 1 second left, adds to the legendary status of that fight and to my aura that I bring into the to inspire people. That's why I do this, obviously. And if you guys notice, I never ever once doubted myself or gave up. And that's the name of the game. That's what I try to preach, and I try to show that through my actions. And I think that I try to take the positive things. I have a lot of people, my mom, my girlfriend, my sisters, they're all trying to check in on me every day. And I'm like, guys, I'm good. Like, it is what it is. I've been doing this my entire life.
Right.
I've lost big wrestling matches. I've lost fights before. It doesn't feel good, but as long as I'm content with the preparation in the lead up to the fight, then I have to be okay with the outcome. I think I was prepared. I think that Max was better that night. And I think I play a crazy game where chance and luck are small factors. And, that's the way the cookie crumbled that night.
You talk about legacy. In one word, what do you think your legacy will be?
What do I think my legacy will be? I can't even say because I don't know what people see. I just hope that inspiring is what I hope that my legacy will be, because you don't understand. I came from the middle of nowhere. We all come from somewhere. Then this is such a worldwide sport. So to be able to touch people and inspire people from across the world is the craziest thing to me. Being from where I'm from, and that's my favorite part about this whole thing. I'm not. I know, like in there, I look mean. I'm a nice person. I don't think you can find. I've interacted with a million. With what I do now, through wrestling, through different sports, through fighting. I've interacted with millions of people, and you're not going to find a handful that say that I'm not a nice person. I try to treat people the correct way, the way I want to be treated. And I think that. You guys think that I might be mean. I love to help people. And so the fact that I am inspiring people from across the world, from different languages, through my actions is the most special part for me. And something I never thought I would be able to do. I thought maybe I would be able to be effective in my community, but my community is so big now, with the age of the internet and, with the stage that I'm fighting on. So that's my favorite part. That's why I can come back and step in there next time with no fear, because that's what I'm trying to do, is inspire people. So we all face life is not easy. We all face these different things. Mine's a fight. Mine's physical. A lot of people's is metaphorical. But at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself and you have to trust in the process. And treating people the correct way, treating people the way you want to be treated, allows me to find comfort there. And then. So I have no reason to be negative or think about any of that bullcrap.
From the copper mines to the BMF title, man, like you've had
it's crazy ride.
You've had such a cool rise, and you're not done yet. Any idea? I know this is super premature, super early. Any idea when the next time you could mentally be ready to get back into a training camp, into a fight?
Again, we're talking about metaphorical and physical. Like metaphorically, I could be ready tomorrow, but physically, I think again, I do I want to take care of myself. I do think that repeated concussions, with me going to sleep like that, me receiving that shot, it would be foolish for me to jump back into training, anytime before 180 days.
Yeah.
I can do cardio. I can stay in shape. That's what I want to try to do, especially the older I get, the harder it is to get back to the best shape of my life. So I want to stay active, but obviously that physical contact is going to be limited for quite some time, just because I want to preserve myself. I've been doing this for a long time. So yeah, I don't have an answer for that question. I think 6 months at least is before I, get back to taking shots. But that doesn't say that I won't be training, the whole time. So we'll see. It's a crazy game. We'll see how the Dustin and Makhachev fight goes.
Yeah.
Crazy game.
Dude, thank you so much. Before we get out of here, talk to me, and we'll probably see a lot of your cardio, a lot of your workout stuff on your OFTV Rise and Grind stuff. Can you talk to us a little bit about it? Get us excited about what you got behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, we just got through a fight, so obviously a lot of the training, is going to be a lot different now. A lot more golf. A
lot more video games, a lot more golf,
a lot more video games and golf. So, but yeah, I mean, the OnlyFans TV, again, we're going to get back to making, content with my coach. We used to make these curriculum, videos. I think we have our whole shop set up as a studio now, so nice. We're able to film these technique videos and then really just try and spread, knowledge on, my coach possesses so much knowledge, my ability to put it into action and to make it look, we all learn different ways, visual, reading. I don't know. I'm a visual learner. I have to see it. And so I want to put it on video, show people how to, get a good workout. I think fighting and training for a fight, even though you're not fighting, is such a good, cardiovascular workout. Put you in such a positive mental state, gives you confidence, which is huge. One of the biggest factors in life, having the confidence to attack these situations. And so, I want to put, stuff like that on there. And then, just different ways to communicate with fans. I've got so much love after this fight, win or lose, it's crazy how much love I've gotten after this fight. And so, the OnlyFans is just another way for me to interact with my fans, bring them some content on things. Some people do want to learn how to fight, so I can, give them that. But then just interacting with my fans, it's huge. And OnlyFans is a great outlet for that.
Check out Justin Gaethje's OnlyFans Rise and Grind episode with the highlight himself, teaching you everything. Hopefully get some good golf stuff in there too. I'm going to be watching for some good golf content. Justin, you're a legend, dude. You're a dog. You're a warrior. We appreciate you as media, as fans, as people, just in general, from, again, copper mines to the top of the world in what it is that you do is just an incredible story, man. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much for hanging out, man.
All right. Yes, sir, man. Thank you for your time.
Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.